I went to the MGM National Harbor last night to see Vasyl Lomachenko take on Jason Sosa. So, first fight card ever at MGM National Harbor. So let me explain how things went down. I had to actually go to Pennsylvania earlier that day for a funeral, and then came from Pennsylvania back to the National Harbor. And as expected, people were confused. There was a lot of confusion going around from the people that worked there. You asked them where things were, and nobody knew anything. So getting to the National Harbor, there's a parking garage. The self-parking is free for now. I don't think it will change within the next year, at least. Hopefully not in the next 10 years, but so you go into self-parking, and everywhere, every direction you go, I don't care what kind of turn you make, there are these numbers, digital display above, and they kind of tell you if you go this way, there are 21 spaces available. Good luck finding the 21. If you go this way, there are 117, and so on and so forth. So everybody's going where the big numbers are. I'm looking for something that said there are 3 spaces available and going that way. That's just my way of doing things. I'm like, you guys you go where everyone else is going. I'll go against the grain, and I found a nice spot. What you want to do when you go to MGM National Harbor is each level is color coded. So it's like P1, P2, P3, P for parking, I guess. And so level 1 might be red, like all the signs are red. For example, level 2 yellow, level 3 green, so on and so forth. So I parked section, what was it, P3, section E. I didn't remember that, so I took a picture of the sign. So as I'm coming out, there's this guy. He took a picture of the sign, but he took a picture of the wrong side of it. So he's like, man, I'm never going to find my car. And I said, well, the sign is yellow. See, your sign is yellow, and every sign on the floor that we were on was green. But what do you mean? I'm like, well, you're on the wrong floor. So we went one floor down, one floor up, and we found yellow. I said, now your car is somewhere, if you can remember how you got to the elevator, your car, oh man, yeah, you're right, blah, 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 blah. So if for some reason you forget, try to remember, and you'll see a bunch of signs, what color floor you are. So I go inside, and I'm going to tell you like this. Everything that you see reminded you of the MGM in Las Vegas, except the arena. I'll get to that part later. But, I mean, with all the stores, the place is huge. I mean, National Harbor itself is big enough, but the MGM National Harbor is huge on the inside. All the stores, I mean, it looked just like, well, not just like, but I mean, it had the feel of the MGM in Las Vegas. So I'm going around and around and around looking for the theater, looking for the arena, and finally find it. And I'm like, well, do you know where the media goes to go get the media credential? What do you mean? I'm like, okay. So then they're like, eventually I'm explaining it to them. They're like, well, go up the escalator. Go up the escalator. Yeah, where do I get my media credential? Hold on for a minute. Hey, you guys know where the guy gets the thing, what you call it, goes around your neck, and nobody knows. I'm like, hey, my man, see that walkie-talkie? Why don't you just get on it and try to find out? Hey, I knew I could find some use out of this thing. Yeah, let me get on. He's calling. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. So I say, okay. It's at the Mandalay media room or whatever the word was. Nobody knows where that is. I'm like, are you serious? So finally I see a guy walking, and I'm like, hey, where did you get that credential from? Oh, you got to go down this way. Eventually I found it, and get my media credential. There's a story behind that I'm not going to share here. But it took a while. And they gave you these vouchers. Not vouchers to eat in a media room or in the arena, but there was a food truck outside serving food. And one thing Top Rank Bob Arum will always do, he will feed you. And I'm not talking about chips and dip. If you ever cover an event for Top Rank, you're going to eat. So this particular event, they gave you a $15 voucher for a food truck. Go outside to the food truck. It take a while to cook your food. Buffalo wings were good, so that's what I chose. Come back in, and I go in to look for where I'm going to sit, and I don't. I said, well, I'm on the stage. Now, if you ever watched fights at Bally in Atlantic City, Bally's hotel and casino, one side of the ring where the media is, usually there's a stage on that side. So as I come in, nobody knows what I'm talking about. Oh, wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. There's a stage down there. And in order to get down there, you got to go back down the escalator, all the way around. So eventually I got there, got seated, and that was it. Let me just say another thing for fans. If you never cover an event as the media, if you go to MGM Grand, or MGM, I should say, National Harbor, you go into Ticketmaster, and a lot of times Ticketmaster doesn't have a virtual seating chart. They just have section, and you got to pick a number. Trust me when I tell you, pick the least expensive seat in the house. There's not a bad seat in the arena. It seats about, I want to say about 3,500 or so, give or take. Trust me. If I was a fan, I would probably have wanted to be up a little, like where the worst seats were, because you just get the best view. Trust me when I tell you. It's equivalent to if you've ever been to the Cosmopolitan and that theater in there, but it's smaller. Very, very good. I mean, not a bad seat in the house. Some notable attendees at the fight. The first person I saw when I came in, and I wasn't thinking about it, was before I found I had to figure out where the credential place was. It was Shakur Stevenson, U.S. Olympian Shakur Stevenson. He was in the house. He's down with Top Rank, so. And that's another thing with Top Rank. Their fighters always come. Not to say that Golden Boy and Premier and other, but their fighters, they come out to the events. So Shakur Stevenson was there. He makes his pro debut later on this month. I saw former middleweight king Kelly Pavlik. Got a little short interview with Kelly Pavlik. I'm gonna put that up for you guys. Got heavyweight hopeful Amir Mansour. I'm gonna try to get Amir on the phone. I actually was gonna try to get him live, and he was talking to some dudes. Somebody got my attention. I turned back around. Amir's nowhere to be found. So I'm gonna try to get him on the phone this week. Get a telephone interview with him. I'm gonna post the Kelly Pavlik interview up. A little short, 3 or 4 question type of deal. Gervonta Davis was there. Tevin Farmer, a Philadelphia boxer who had some interest in last night's fights. maybe fighting the winner of the main event, or maybe fighting Gervonta Davis. If I have a video of Tevin Farmer and Gervonta Davis just ready to ready to come to blows. I mean, you had a feeling if there was a contract to be signed, well, at least Farmer would sign it. Davis is a little, well, he's talking about undefeated and so on and earning a shot and so on and so forth, which I'm not wholeheartedly in agreement with, but I'd like to see that fight. I'd really like to see Tevin Farmer and Gervonta Davis fight. I'd like to see Davis and Lomachenko fight, which won't happen. I'd really like to see Gary Russell Jr. and Gervonta Davis. They're one weight class apart. I'd really like to see them go at it at the same venue. They're both DMV fighters. That would be spectacular. Oh, the bathrooms. One other thing before I get to the fights. The bathrooms, so after you take care of your business, you go to the sink. And so the sink had an automated soap dispenser to the left. And then, so you put the soap on your hands, and then in the middle was the water dispenser, or the spigot, as people used to call it, but it's automated, so you don't have to turn any knobs or anything. You just put your hand under, and the water comes out. So you have the soap dispenser to the left, the water dispenser in the middle, and then an automated hand dryer to the right. So you're at the sink, which is pretty cool. I mean, you're at the sink, and if you're watching this video and not just listening to it, I'll post a picture in this segment to show you. I thought it was real neat. And so it's like a one-stop shop. I mean, soap, rinse, dryer, all at one sink, and then there's another sink next to that and another sink next to that. I mean, it was cool. It was cool. So that's pretty much the venue, my summary of it. I mean, I could go into detail, but we're already 12 minutes, almost 13 into it. So the fights. So Mike, yes indeed, Reed won. I did a little summary on thefightjournal.com, so you can check out the undercard fights. Michael, yes indeed, Reed, as he's known now instead of Mike. Michael, yes indeed, Reed won. And you had Jesse Hart, Philadelphia guy. He big uppercut. He won his fight. And undercard summaries are on the page, thefightjournal.com. So the television bouts, well, it opened up with the WBO Cruiserweight champion Alexander Usyk retaining his title with a unanimous decision over Game. Big Game. Michael Big Game Hunter. No, it's not. That's not his nickname, but he was Game. And they opened the telecast, and Usyk started out fast. And but Hunter had plenty of answers early on. And Hunter, he fights with a very awkward style, similar to John Thompson. If you watch the ESPN Boxino tournament a couple years back, John Thompson he won it one of the years they had it, and he just was awkward, and that's how Hunter was. And how Hunter did not go down in this fight, I have no idea. And referee Bill Clancy, you might want to change that guy's name to Steve Smoger III. He could have stopped the fight on numerous occasions, but he let Hunter fight. He allowed Hunter every possible opportunity to recover. And as Hunter trailed, I know who he reminds me of a whole lot. His stature, just every Steve USS Cunningham. And as he fell down late in the fight, he had to come forward and he had to try to hurt Usyk and try to get a couple of knockdowns or a knockdown or a knockout. And that's just like Steve Cunningham. That's just not his game. And he paid for it. Watching it live, this was an exciting fight. The fight had a lot of action. All right, if you don't want to use the word exciting, it had a lot of action. It got sloppy at times, but not sloppy as the clutching and mauling each other and stuff like that. No, just sloppy as far as movement, footwork, using all four corners of the ring. But so Usyk moves to 12-0 with 11 knockouts, and Hunter lost for the first time. So he's 12-1 with 8 knockouts. And I like to see how Usyk handles himself stepping up. With Hunter, I definitely would like to see him again. It was a little bit too early for him to have this kind of fight. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But they should have moved him maybe 3 or 4 more fights into this. But when money's placed on the table, I guess, and you got to go for it. He just wasn't ready. But he gave a good account. He's got some tools. He just got to work them. You got to work them. So definitely want to see both guys. Next up was Alexander Volzdik, 13-0, 11 knockouts. Taking on Yunieski Gonzalez. Excuse me. 18-3, 14 knockouts. Volzdik took Gonzalez out early in a very lopsided 3-round affair. I thought Gonzalez was going to bring more to the table. He didn't. And Gonzalez never got started, as Volzdik dominated from the start, which led to a knockdown in round 3. And he continued to batter Gonzalez in another fight that could have been stopped by referee Harvey Dock. But his corner did what Harvey Dock should have done earlier. They waved the fight off to save a seriously beaten Gonzalez. I hope he's okay. I hope it didn't take too much out of him, that fight. But for Volzdik, he's out there saying, look, Stevenson, you've been protected for too long. Let's do it. The main event, Vasyl Lomachenko defended his WBA World Super Featherweight title against Camden, New Jersey's Jason Sosa. I like the songs that both guys came out with. Sosa's was a bit of a mix. And Lomachenko, first of all, the DJ was on fire. I don't know how he has a SoundCloud too. I'm gonna give him a shout out. The DJ has a SoundCloud. He gave it to me. The DJ's name is Justin Hoffman. Las Vegas. I guess he's based in Las Vegas. But if you go to SoundCloud, I guess you just type in Justin Hoffman, Las Vegas. And yeah, he was on fire. Now, Vasyl Lomachenko came out to a song, and I'm going to leave the song below, a link to the song below. It's a song from The Matrix. It's not there's no words to it. It's just an instrumental. That song is gangster, man. That song is hard. It's just hardcore. And I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's called Clubbed to Death. And I guess it's called that maybe because they want to send a little hypnotic thing to say, play it in the club. But Clubbed to Death from The Matrix that they played during one of the action scenes. And now, if you're listening to the song on your mobile phone, it's going to sound just like a regular song on YouTube if you select the link. But if you put it in some speakers, I mean some good speakers, in your car, on your stereo, in your headset, your headphones, whatever, but you turn it up, you got to turn them up. Make sure the speakers have some good bass to them. I'm telling you, this song is gangster. And just the beat. Now imagine yourself in an arena like the MGM in Vegas. Okay, 15,000 seats. And it has a sound system that booms. And the best boxer in the world is walking out. And as you're waiting for him, all the fans are on their feet from his country. And I mean, everybody's in that music, that beat that you're listening to is just booming. Now, take that same sound system from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas that seats 15,000 and put it in the MGM National Harbor Arena that seats 3,500. And so it's booming, but you have less of an arena that it encompasses. I mean, it was powerful. No lyrics, it's just doom doom doom. Well, I'm gonna let you listen to the beat. I'm not even gonna. But it was intimidating, and I wasn't in the ring fighting this guy. But anyway. That beat is, I mean, leave a comment below that beat. But make sure when you play it, it's not through your phone and you're going to say, man, it's okay. No. Play it in the car with the booming system. Play it in your headphones. Turn it up. Not on your computer, not on your phone. Something with some bass in it, I'm telling you. And speaking of the Matrix, Lomachenko, Jason Sosa, he had problems at the weigh-in. He weighed in 3 times. Initially, he was 130.4 pounds. And he stripped down and was 130.2 pounds. And then he came back a little later and made 130, which was the weight limit. And Sosa landed his fair share of shots against Lomachenko. I don't know what the television told you, but live he landed some shots. He won the first round on my scorecard. However, it was not enough, as Lomachenko's footwork, his hand speed, just some stuff that hasn't been seen in this universe, I'm telling you. Sosa, who already, in my opinion, was experiencing weight troubles, Lomachenko just took the gas out of him. That's he just took the gas out of Sosa. And the pace was just too much for him to handle. Now, when I say Loma took the gas out of Sosa, I'm not saying it was the weight issue. What I'm saying is it was the weight issue, as well as the fact that Sosa spent so much energy not just fending Lomachenko off. He may even have spent more energy trying to catch up to him, to the movement. He expended a lot of energy early on, and I think it was the 7th round when Sosa went back to his corner. He was doing, to me, I mean, he was doing his best as I've seen anyone do against Lomachenko, who fought under legal terms. Weight notwithstanding and low blows notwithstanding. I won't say any names, but he did good. But when he walked, I believe it was the 7th round, he kind of looked up at the another top-ranked staple is that they always have these big screens on either side, both sides of the, or two sides of the arena, that show instant replays. So when dudes get knocked out cold, or if you miss something, you look back up at the screen, and when you hear those ooh, ah by fans, when a fight's already over and the guys are like taking their gloves off and doing stuff like that, you're watching the replays. So he kind of looked up at the screen. I don't know if he's looking to see what round it was or what, but you saw a look in his eyes. It's not quit. It was all right, man. How much longer is it? It was kind of like, man, it's a tough puzzle to figure out. So no shame for Sosa, who stepped up when a bunch of other sucker MCs stepped aside. So he stepped up while they stepped aside. Lomachenko, he vowed after the fight to try to get fights with every champion at 130 pounds. And if he fails, he's moving up to 135, and mentioned fighting Mikey Garcia in a dream fight. So that's how it was last night in Oxon Hill, Maryland, at the new MGM National Harbor. So like I said, I got some more stuff for you guys. I got a little Tevin Farmer thing. I got a Gervonta Davis and a what else do I have? Shakur Stevenson and Kelly Pavlik also, that I'll post for you guys. For the Tevin Farmer and Kelly Pavlik, let me make my excuse ahead of time. The Kelly Pavlik one, it was very loud when I did it, a lot of background noise. You should be able to hear him. But that one is going to be a bit kind of loud. And Tevin Farmer, as I'm starting the interview, they're telling us to get out. You'll see what I'm talking about. And so the lady is like, well, can y'all step out? So he's walking, but he's still trying to talk, and then he turns around and I ask him one other question. And then the lady's like, whose bag is this? Whose bag is this? And I'm waving my hand up, trying not to say anything. And then finally I'm like, it's mine. And then we cut the interview there, and then there's another piece of the interview that I'll add where he's answering some other questions from some other guys, and I'm kind of like on the side. But anyway, fans, give your thoughts on Lomachenko, Sosa, the entire card, and what you think should be next. please subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.